Yo, 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 what is going on? CoD Familia. It is your boy BN. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the latest dev feedback for the month of December, which just released 5 hours ago. So if it's around 14 UTC, we're talking around, 9 UTC? Haven't had a chance to take a look at this yet, so let's dive in, see what we got. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you throw us up, because it helps out a lot. Here we go. It doesn't look too long. Increase multi-create slots. 5 is far from enough. Interesting. Are they basing that off saying, hey, we need more than 5 marches? Because doesn't Rock have 6 or 7 marches that you can do now? Thank you for your feedback and suggestion. We understand your need for more preset options preset, so it's not just basic marches. For the multi-create function, however, since we are scheduling general adjustments to Legion and Army Group as a whole, preset changes as part of that will be further considered and evaluated. Thank you for your understanding. So this isn't a hard no. It's more of a, okay, thank you for the suggestion. It almost sounds like they just kind of want to get some of these things out first that are addressing and going over some of the foundational pieces. And then it's, okay, we'll reassess and see if that comes up later down the road. My view on that is if the majority of people really think that that is going to be a positive change, then keep advocating for it, right? Don't stop, don't quit, don't let up. All right, number 2. Auto-submit quests after completion for the Alliance Mobilization event. That actually makes a lot of sense. Like it just auto... Because I remember in Infinity Kingdom, they had something like this where basically when you were fighting for contention of relics, which was basically this event, COR, that would determine who would get the final building and therefore basically be crowned king or queen of the kingdom. It was a little bit different than your kind of traditional kingdom builder, at least for ones I've played. And how it would work is one of the phases within this event would be you completing quests within the Forbidden Zone. So it was kind of, think of it like Zone 3, but just smaller a little bit. And you would do these quests at a certain phase. And when you did them and you completed them, from what I recall, it would just auto-apply to your alliance and the points would just be additive at that point. So, yeah, this actually sounds like it's a good idea. Thank you for your suggestion. We definitely feel that it will be a quality of life improvement and are currently planning to add auto-submission of completed quests to the Alliance Mobilization event in future patches of the game. Please stay tuned for a more detailed description of this change. Okay, this seems like a win, and hopefully some peeps are enjoying this. Since many players have played Rock before, the events feel unoriginal for them, and the rewards are little. Even less than Rock rewards, increase in-game rewards. I mean, this kind of seems somewhat generic and broadish of a response, but I guess it is direct-ish to a point. Thank you for your suggestion and continued support for our game. Enriching game experience for our players has always been our focus. We'll bring your new events with richer content and gameplay, as well as holiday events to make Call of Dragons more enjoyable and rewarding. Okay, so kind of broad question-ish to broad response-ish at that point. I mean, look, I don't think it's a secret that players have been wanting, advocating, and hoping for more events to be added to Call of Dragons. I think the fact is that when you ask, which I have done, the average player who is fully active to a point where they're completing all their dailies and they're doing all their events and kind of anything else, the average amount of time I have heard from a group of people is anywhere from maybe 1 hour to 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours of how long it takes just to kind of do everything on an average day. And that's notwithstanding any specific or unique events, but just kind of daily events that you can do. It doesn't take that long to run through your dailies, burn out your CP, and then go ahead and do any of the events that are going or anything else that you might be able to push, right? Because some of the things, for example, like I'm already Dragon Trail. I was about to say I'm already forgetting what it's called. Something like Dragon Trail, right, is you're kind of pushing it to a point, and then you're stopping, and then you're waiting to power up a little bit more, and then you're pushing it, and then you can only go so far, and it's just kind of this wash, rinse, and repeat process. So it's not something that you're going to be really consistently doing every single day. And I think that's really more of what they're hinting at. And I think I'm going to end up doing something like that where I just go and ask a bunch of people and just see like on how much time are you spending in game And would you like how much time do you think you'd like to be able to spend? And do you feel like the time you're investing should allow for you to have some amount of progression that's associated with that amount of time? Like, that to me would be really interesting to kind of hear the data for people on, hey, would you like to be able to have 6 hours worth of events a day to do, even if you don't do it every day, but just the opportunity to do it when you're able to, and knowing that what you're investing in that day will actually come out to some form of real progression for your account, even if it's tiny, but obviously understanding that kind of all those tiny things stack and stack and stack. That would be really interesting, and I think kind of a good thing to get some feedback on. On top of that, I would love to know from some of you, how much time are you spending right now? You know, if you're doing everything on an average day-to-day, excluding any kind of special events or events that will literally take up a lot of time, if it's just kind of a day-to-day, how much time are you spending just to kind of finish everything you need to do, and then you're just socializing or waiting for the next thing to come up? Let's move on. Buff, Thundolin, and Thalea. Their performance is poor as of now. Thank you for your feedback. We have noticed players' concerns over new heroes' performance and looked into it immediately. The hero's performance was influenced by a bug when Thundolin is awakened and wrongly displayed merit stats in the battle reports, which have now been fixed. Oh, that's nice. See, I like when they tell you, like, this was what was wrong, and then this is what this is what we did to fix it, and this is how it is operating now. That to me is just really nice to hear. And I just love reading. I love the fact that it was addressed. Like, here's the concern. It was addressed, and this is what has been fixed. Next one we have is, now they should perform normally, and we are expecting to see you try them and find their spots in your city. Okay. Next one here. Let me just move this up a rooney so we can see the bottom ones. Add a function that calculates the sum of all resource items a player has. That would actually be pretty cool. This is definitely a quality of life change, as it will save the players a lot of time and help players have clear view on how many resources there are in their inventory. We are planning to bring this function to you in the future. That's dope. Players will be able to know not only how many resources, but also how much time of speed ups they have in total. I mean, hallelujah. Thank you. We will present you with more information on this function. Thanks for your patience. Now, what I hope they do with this is they allow you the opportunity to have each individual RSS type totaled, and then all of the RSS type totals. Same thing with speed ups. Have each of the individual types of speed ups and allow a total for that, and then a total amount of speed ups that you have. Or an example would be for speed ups, maybe do something like you have your, let me go in real quick, right? You have your building research. Gosh, I'm already forgetting stuff. So you have building, training, research, and universal. So as an example, you could do individual totals for each of those 4, but then do combined totals for 2 of them apiece, right? So for example, you're not going to do training and research, right? But you would do training and universal. So it would be nice if they did it like that. So you get the 4 individual breakdowns, and then you get 3 paired breakdowns for building universal, training universal, and research universal. And then you get those totals. That to me would be the ideal way for people to really have a great understanding on what they're going to do. Because the fact is that if you are trying to do bulk training, you may not just consider using training resources or training speed ups, but you may use universals. So same thing can be said with research and those people that are still upgrading buildings. So knowing what that is, I think, gives a more accurate indicator. So hopefully that'll do. But is this a great quality of life change? Absolutely. Without a doubt. No question. Okay. Ooh, this is a big one. The drop rates of Sentinels and Treaties are low. I mean, this has been, I'm curious what they're going to say here, because if they say something that is positive after how much pain and advocation and what feels like lobbying people have been throwing at this topic for God knows how long, or Buddha knows how long. I mean, to me, they're just on an upward trajectory at this point. I mean, it's been like great feedback, great Q&A, great updates as of late, back to back, and it almost just feels like they've had like an entire change in leadership or personnel. I don't know. It's just, that's how it feels. Okay. Thank you for your feedback. And, dude, I love how they address this. This is a long-awaited change by the players. Like, who's ever doing the feedbacks and the Q&As and the update patch notes as of late, I would argue maybe over the past few months, Is it just me, or does it just feel like there has been this positive upward trajectory shift in the company and like in the community involvement and the way they're addressing things, not only with the Hall of Kings thing as well, but I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy to say that. After continuous observation and evaluation, we are planning to adjust the 2 items drop rates in the future, but we are still finalizing when this change will be introduced. We will have more information for you in the future. Okay, so even though it isn't a hard answer, it at least appears that the hope is it will be a positive change and drop rates will be increased to some degree. I think that is a good takeaway. I think that's a high percentage takeaway based on the response and the fact that they said something like this is a long-awaited change. I don't think they're going to say that and then just kind of, we're just going to raise it by 0.01%. That's the hope. However, this is nice, man. This was a nice dev feedback for December. A couple pieces here that I think the community will really like, even though some are coming sooner, some, and maybe most of them are coming later. But the fact is that they addressed it, they acknowledged it, and they said, hey, look, this is going to happen. So that's nice. Now it's just a matter of when it is, and hopefully it's not too long where, people bring out their pitchforks again. Let me know what you guys think on this one. I think this is mostly positive. I think some of these are long-awaited changes and additions and really just comments and some kind of clear direction on are they going to do it or not do it that we finally got. So again, I'm kind of 2 thumbs up as of late, and I think that the game has been doing a great job recently, especially of giving us kind of upward trajectory changes that the community has really been resonating with. And I've had a few people that have even reached out to me and said, hey man, a lot has changed. I'm considering coming back and trying it. And I'm not saying this is a bunch of people, but a handful have reached out to me. And it's just been nice to kind of hear that. I think anytime you're playing a game that you really enjoy and you really want to continue thriving and to not die out and hopefully to continue being successful, it's great when you hear about people that are willing to kind of come back and give the game another chance, especially with what has been a pretty decent turnaround so far. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.